This weekend saw the Wallabies finally beat the All Blacks in what was an excellent game of footy and one that rugby needed. Now, Will, they've got close this year. They finally put in an 80-minute performance.
Yep.
And wasn't it great to see that Indigenous jersey?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they recognised all 14 players that were Indigenous,
Yep.
you know, which represented all the circles there of all the 14 players. So that was great with the Ella brothers and everyone like that. So Curtly Bill would have been a massive proud moment for him. So, and the Aboriginal people, because they've been such a big part of rugby union and league and all sports in Australia. So it's about time they got recognised in the Wallabies, within the Wallabies setup. So it was great, and it was just the icing on the cake for them to win. I think, shout out to Israel Folau. I think that was his best game against New Zealand. You know, he made metres after metres. He scored a try, because most of the time against the All Blacks, he hasn't really been the best player that he could be. He's carved up every other nation apart from the All Blacks. So I think that's the monkey off his back there, and hopefully he can just continue that all year with the Springboks tour and everything like that, and just keep on going. They look to him, you know, for that energy, you know, the way he's running the ball, the way, you know, his support and his offloads and everything like that, and his attack. So he's that spark plug, you know. So it was great to see Izzy do that. So
you can see why he wants a bit of time off too. I mean, he's a one-man promotional tool. He plays hard as he can. He plays every minute of every game, just about. He plays for the Waratahs, the Super. He's, you know, I think it's great he's having a bit of time.
Mate, I think it was we give up about 500,000 tax-free to play it in Japan. I mean, like, that's a lot, because a lot of players would take that money, you know, and that's just a credit to him and his character. You know, it's great to see Izzy put, you know, his personal life in front of his his professional life, because, you know, he's given up 500,000 tax-free dollars, as they're saying. So, you know, I don't think people realise how many days, you know, especially the Wallabies are away. They're over about 120 days.
The beautiful thing as well with Folau, I mean, the way Michael Check has built that side, now, 2 years ago, Folau is out for a game and everyone panics. Now they've blooded enough players. There's enough people in the system. I mean, you've got Carmichael Hunt, who can't get a start. He could slot straight in a fullback. You don't have to move anything. You could move Beale to fullback. There's a lot of options that Check has got, and that's full credit to them.
I think our backline can always match it with anyone. It's our tight five and our forwards that usually get belted by New Zealand, and we showed up.
They did.
They showed up.
They wanted to win. Like, that last 10 minutes, they
actually showed some really, like, some aggression and fight, and they just didn't want to get beaten, because sometimes, you know, you can see the All Blacks will impose their will on teams, and they usually do it with Australia in the last 20 minutes. But it was great to see, and I hope, and that won't go missing in the upcoming games.
No, of course
they'll reach into that little part that they did in that last 20 minutes, and they know it's there now. So hopefully, you know, we can go to the Springboks and carve all them up, and then, you know, obviously build in the next couple of years into that World Cup.
Well, the big test for them now is going to be England at Twickenham. They go over there, and I mean, I think everyone expects them to beat Scotland and beat the Irish, but that English game's going to be a tough game. If they can get over the line there, I tell you what, it's going to bring a lot of the diehards back into that belief stage where you think they're going to win, they're not winning. They're going to win, they're almost there, and they're almost there is not good enough.
Well, I mean, if the diehards didn't come out after that game,
well, they got 45,000 up there, which is great, considering they cut.
And it was pissing down rain for 2 weeks.
It was terrible.
You know, so and the game, you know, the quality of game wasn't probably, you know, it wasn't a 10 out of 10 game.
No,
it was slippery as hell. But I mean, like, you know, just them winning is amazing against the All Blacks. I think any team that gets a win against the All Blacks now thinks that they've won the World Cup. So obviously they're not going to get too carried away. You know, they might think, you know, New Zealand, did they have a off night? Did we play too good? There's going to be conversations with all the professional union aficionados and everything like that. So
what it does, it builds belief. I mean, you know yourself, when you've played at that level, if there's something that matters more than anything else, it's that belief that you can beat whoever you're playing against. Doesn't matter. The All Blacks, there's 5 minutes to go and they're behind. They still believe they can win, you know, and Australia needs that.
Well, that's when you were watching the game, I was thinking, oh, they're going to score, they're going to score, they're going to score. Then Sam Cane gets off there, he drops the ball, game over.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, and you could just see the relief on the guys' faces and the jubilation. It was just it was great to see the Aussie boys actually celebrate, something, and without their heads being, you know, lowered, and then New Zealand lifting up every single cup in the world.
I've got a lot of faith for next year. I think they're doing a great job with the coaching and the fitness stuff that they're doing.
Well, I think Jack Dempsey stood up. He was a
played
beast.
enormous.
He was an absolute beast. He stuck it to him. He was getting the ball. He's so rangy and tall. His footwork's good. He was finding inside shoulders, which was, I don't understand why it's so hard. Why would you run straight into a bloke when you've got a bit of footwork and you find inside shoulders? You can get the ball out straight away. And I think their 6, 7 and 8 were doing that fine. Even their locks were going really well at that. The clearance was getting straight out to Genia, straight to Foley, getting clean balls to Izzy and Curtly Beale and all them sort of blokes. So it was just good to see him playing that running rugby and enjoying themselves and having a look at photos like that. And I'll look back on that being in the Indigenous game. It's going to stick in the Australians' heads for a while.
Well, they're playing the Barbars on the weekend, and hopefully everyone gets out there and supports that. It's a Saturday Arvo game, and rugby's on the way up, so you keep following. Everyone get back on that Wallaby bandwagon.
Yeah, mate, everyone. It's our team, you know what I mean? Team. Regardless if it's, league or union, you always support the Wallabies. You don't want to see New Zealand just keep winning and keep winning. I mean, they're the best nation in the world.
Yeah.
Forever.
Not now. We're going to be. We're back.
We've given some belief, which is the main thing.